Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, I want to do a beginner lesson here. We're going to start with a lot of the physical stuff. I'm seeing there's just so many bad habits. Even when I get students that have been playing for a few years and kind of trying to walk them away from bad habits. The problem is if you don't have a teacher there from the beginning to guide you away constantly. Because the problem about that bad habit is it's something that you want to do. Example, the first thing is with your left hand. We want to grip the guitar neck like this. It's sort of like a baseball bat or handlebars on a bicycle. And we don't like the idea of having our thumb on the back of the guitar, sort of like in the middle of that neck, right? And that's kind of the stabilizer. And then our fingers are sort of moving around it, right? It's a little bit looser. It's a little bit more relaxed. It's almost like if you were to like grab something, that's really safe, and this is not. You know what I mean? That's like a little bit looser, but we need that looseness, that relaxation to actually get our fingers to work. So, the first thing to do, it doesn't matter how long it takes, right? If you just do a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I start up here on the 5th fret or the 7th fret, because you don't have to reach so far for it. It's right in front of you. What you really want to do is just make sure that there's some space under the guitar neck and you're not gripping it. Make sure your thumb is behind your fingers, mainly behind that second finger, but just having it back here, like you'd see, right? If I can kind of do it like that, you see that my thumb's resting here, and then this is where my fingers are. What you're actually doing there is you're pinching the guitar neck, right? So when I'm doing like a beginner class, especially for my kids, I'll have them put their hand out and I'll say, pinch your finger as hard as or pinch your hand as hard as you can. And they do it. I'll say something silly like, make it like, it's your brother or your sister that you don't like and you're pinching them to hurt them. Now do this, right? Put it up against your palm and try to press. It's just the pressure is just not that much. So if you're putting your palm back here and your thumb's down here and that's how you're playing, or if you're just grabbing the neck and that's where that pressure is, that is not going to work. The hard part is I've had students in the beginning. This is where I'm a little wary of putting a video out like this because a teacher's not there to consistently tell you like, nope, bring your thumb down. Nope, bring your thumb down, because you will start pulling it up. You might start putting it this way, a little bit more like diagonally. So it might look or sort of feel like you've got it in the right place, but it's not. You got to pinch, that guitar neck. What do I tell my students? Like, it's almost like a shark coming up out of the water, and then you just give it some teeth, right? So it turns in, and then that's how that pressure is going to work. This thumb is where the strength really comes in, okay? So that thumb, this muscle right here is just way bigger and way more powerful than these muscles, right? Your thumb has that much more strength. So that's really where a lot of that strength is coming in. So when you're pinching, you're utilizing that muscle so that your fingers don't have to work that hard and they can be a little bit more relaxed, especially once you get the strength. So thumb down here, pinch the guitar neck, just do a 1, 2, 3, 4. You might not even be able to do it that way. You might have to do 1, and then to get to the 2, you might have to move your 1 up a little bit. Then get to the 3, you might have to move that up. That's fine for now. Just get those fingers moving. Now, if you can, don't over squeeze. Really feel just how much pressure it takes to make that sound with your right hand. Now, I want you to do it down, up. That is a habit I want you to start getting into right away, right? Not just doing all down picks. Another habit after a few years of playing, where people are having a tough time alternate picking, and that will also affect your strumming. Like whether you want to play fast guitar solos or not, it'll affect your strumming because your up strums won't be that good. So just start doing a down, up, and you can see how light I'm going. Now again, we like this sensation of squeezing the guitar neck. We're gonna want to squeeze this pick and really dig into it, right? Because this, I almost can't feel, right? It's just so light. I can now, I'm attuned to it, that minute feeling and that minute motion, right? But at first, we want to get that sensation across. We gotta knock that off for right now, and you're just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4s. Now, a reassuring thing, it's not the most fun thing to do in the world, but a reassuring thing is the more that you do this exercise, 1, 2, 3, 4. next string. Don't worry about going as fast as I go. Just whatever is comfortable for you. The more you do it to the bottom string and then back up again, the better you're going to get, the sooner. So if that is motivation, that was motivation for me when I first started, because that is not fun to do, but I knew the more that I was doing it, the better I was going to get faster. So that's why I kept doing it. So now, left hand again, make sure that you're pointed directly into the string, right? Same thing when you're pinching the guitar neck, you're sort of pointed directly down, right, into it. You're not going like that. Okay, so directly into the string, that's going to take a lot of the load off, right? So when you're doing this exercise, you're pointed directly down, okay? Right, and just feel how easy that is. And the more you do it and the lighter you do it, the better you're going to get. I promise we're going to try to get this nice base level of playing and get these muscles that haven't really worked like this before working, right? You can see I'm barely going below and above the string. Right, it's very close, it's very controlled. Okay, now on into some of the tab reading. Okay, just to start this, I wrote this on this little. I'm in Barcelona right now, and I'm waiting to get into my rehearsal spot. So I don't have all of my supplies, but I sort of just wrote out this little easy tab, and I want you to take a look at this. Okay, so. If we see this top line, and I know it's going to be a little bit sloppy, my handwriting is like really bad, okay, but I have all on this top line, everything right here is written on this top line. This is different. This is the next part of the song. Don't worry about that for right now. So I've got a 0, 0, 2, 0, 5, 4, all written on the top line. This is the confusing part about guitar tablature, is the top line is the bottom string. You just have to just say that it's upside down. You have to keep saying that the tablature's upside down. The tablature's upside down, okay? Now, this is pretty easy. How we're gonna kind of figure this out is, okay, we know that everything's now on this bottom string, okay? So if I have a 0, 0, 2, 0, all on my bottom string, the 0 is the string all by itself. This hand doesn't need to do anything, okay? Now, the 2 is going to be on this second box. We can see we got a first box, second box, third box, fourth, all the way up, okay? So it's right in the second box. Now, something to notice, when you're pressing down, you're pointed directly into the string, just like we said before. Also, make sure you're up a little bit in that fret. Don't need to be right in the middle. You can be a little bit higher, but not quite touching that metal bar. But all of this is 2, right? All of this is the second box on the bottom string. Just make sure you're a little bit higher. That's going to take the pressure away. It's going to be a little bit easier, and you'll get a cleaner sound. Back here, you get a little bit of a buzzing sound. So it was 0, 0, so the bottom string by itself, 2 on the second box, second fret. I always say box at first, but it's a fret, second fret, and then back to 0. And then we went up to 5, and then to 4, okay? So all of that was on the bottom string. So now I'm gonna show you. Whoop, 0, 0, 2, 0, then we did 5 and 4. Now right here, it's got a little cramp. So we have another 0, 0, 2, 0, 7, 5. Still all on the bottom string because it's on the top line. So now we've got 0, 0, 2, 0, 7 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. Right, you just gotta count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, back to 5. Okay? Easy enough. Right? And if you ever need to pause and go back, that's totally fine. Now let's just go down here. I've got my 0, 0 on the top line, so it's my bottom string. And then I've got a 12. The 12 is the one with 2 dots. So now you can jump right up. Almost every guitar will have 2 dots on the 12th fret. So you get up to, so now we can see it goes from 12 to 9, okay? So I go 12 to 9, right, on the bottom string. Now this is where it changes. You see now I have a 10 and a 9, but it's on the second line, the second string. So I just go down here, right? And that's where it gets a little confusing because here it moves down and here it's going to move up. But you're on your second string, 10, then 9, And then we go down even to the third line for this 11, okay? All right, now, we'll take it back. We've got a 10, 10, and a 9 on that bottom string, again, right, because it's the top line, 10, 10, 9, and then our second string, 10, 12, 10. I'm going to hold this up, all right, and you can sort of pause it or take like a screen grab of it. That's what we're working with. Or you could rewrite it, honestly, to like get it a little bit neater. All right, and that's what we're doing. And it's happy birthday. It's nice and easy. Again, we're going to be nice and relaxed when we do it. Right, nothing too hard. Okay, now it's okay at first to just use one finger. Okay, I'm using, the different fingers, and that'll come later on and later on. So that will hopefully set you up to learn some other easier tabs and get you set up to physically be able to play. Again, if we're grabbing the guitar like this and trying to play, it's impossible, which means, especially in the beginning, it's going to be so hard for you to even play Happy Birthday. And everything that you do is going to be a struggle. I do recommend finding a really good teacher, even online, that can just constantly guide you into a better position. Okay? So that being said, same thing here. If you're over picking, it just takes a lot of control to get you back to picking appropriately. Last thing, if you are wondering about the pick holding, I usually save this for last because I had a really great guitar teacher, and he held his pick with his middle finger and his thumb way out like this, and he told me that he doesn't necessarily teach pick holding because he knows that he holds his differently than everybody else. This is what I would like you to try. All right, if you make a fist and then you sort of open up that this sort of like back knuckle, right? So it's like almost straight, right? Just like a little bit more relaxed. Then the pick just sort of sticks out with that knuckle, and your thumb just lays right over it, okay? Now you don't want to pull it too tight in, right? But you don't want to have it too far out. It's just like holding something out like this. You don't have any control. Now, if you hold it in here, it can only move with your body, right? But if it's a little bit looser, you can sort of move around, right? And you can move this around, and they move independently, but you still have the control over it. That's how I want you to think about holding your pick, right? Doesn't need to be too tight, but wants to be close, because if it's way out here, you're not gonna have the control, okay? That should give you a great start. Please comment, DM, whatever, if you are just starting and you need a little bit more help, okay?